if you take a look, I changed up the format of my Canvas page a little bit. Okay, so take a look here at kind of the new structure. Everything is still exactly in the same order, but I chunked it up a bit more so my modules were not as long. So instead of having an entire Latin America module that is, you know, 80 different, um, you know, 80 different things, now it's only, okay, based on topic or category. So if you look, I have Latin American. I'll go to student view as well, so I can show you what you should see on your end. Okay, so I have Latin America vocabulary, which is the first thing we did for Latin America. Then Latin America geography, the geography lesson. Latin America culture lessons, okay, are here. And then I have Latin America history, which is the DBQ. A lot more going on there. And then I have Latin America economics and government, which is where we are now. I also added these subheadings. Okay, so if you look, this subheading is October 6th. Okay, so that is everything under there is October 6th lesson. I'm gonna start just saying video instead of October 6th video, so you'll know that everything under the date is from that specific day. So I don't have to always repeat myself and say October 6th summary. You'll just understand that that's what that is. So it'll probably say like video, starter, summary, review, and then the assignment, and then take it out the door. So here's where we're at now. This is the video that'll probably be loaded there, so it's not there currently. But everybody needs to be there. I'm also trying something new or different here. I want you to go to October 8th starter. It is actually like a mini quiz. It is informal, it is not formal. But I want you to go there now and I want you to take that, okay? So go ahead and complete that, please. And don't focus on the previous lesson now. We're moving on because I need you to finish this and finish this now. And take that quiz, please. Everybody should be on there. This is the starter for the day instead of the writing prompt. And this will most often always be review from the previous class. And the starter is going to have specific due dates that will be considered late automatically if you don't on time. Honestly, I should make it during the school day. Right now it's set at 10 p.m. So if you end up doing this tomorrow, it'll be considered late and you'll receive that automatic 10% deduction. So that's kind of something that'll make, hold us accountable and hold you accountable to being present, to starting out class, to not delaying, and making sure you are fully engaged. So take a look. So I'm going to read the questions and maybe explain them a little bit and then you answer them. Which of the following are characteristics of a petrostate? All right, and you can go back and reference the materials, okay, that we talked about. You were supposed to do again 3 and 4 yesterday, 1 and 2 the day before. So choose all that apply because it could be one option, 2, 3, or all 4. You get to choose, and so this basically is telling me that you understand what a petrostate is. Question 2. Which of the following have or are occurring in Venezuela? Drop in oil prices causing financial turmoil or problems, great oil production, and I don't know why it says that, great oil production and increase of exports, the value of the money dramatically decreasing, Maduro moving the country towards autocracy or a dictatorship. Then 3, which of the following not, should say happening in Venezuela's past or did not happen? Sorry, that's right. Which of the following did not happen in Venezuela's past or history? Okay. And then question 4. Based on the article, Venezuela, the rise and fall of the petrostate, what helps a country survive and potentially thrive with the discovery of oil or energy resources? So if a country finds tons of oil, what is going to allow them to not fall into the same kind of the same thing that happened to Venezuela and other countries? They cite Norway as a country that was able to survive the kind of mass uh, discovery of resources. Yeah, Dutch disease, good for sure. Right now there are no retakes. This is informal, so do your best. Okay, I may reevaluate that later, but right now that is not something we're gonna do. I'll submit the quiz, get my 0, and move on here. Yeah, each question is multiple choice, but you can also choose multiple answers. Some of them you choose multiple answers. It's not easy, right? It's not easy. Yep. All right, but here we go. Moving on. Okay, summary today. Describe. I'm gonna have something similar at the end of class as well. So make sure you stay with me, okay, before you can log off. I can describe the life of a Venezuelan citizen. That is our objective today. That is your focus today. In fact, you're going to take on the role of a Venezuelan citizen in your writing today. Our standard course of study remains the same. Explain implications of decisions on a national level and international level. Specifically, we'll talk about Venezuela as well as the actions of a government and the authority of government. So we're going to look at that as well. The unit continues to be Latin America, and statement of inquiry: systems determine power and equity. So synchronous work today, October 8th starter, which we just completed. We're going to begin 30 Venezuelan point of view, and then you take it out the door before you log out of class today. The asynchronous time is to complete page 30, Venezuelan point of view. Okay, so at this point, everybody go to page 30. Page 30, Venezuelan point of view, and we're gonna complete one of these together, and then you're gonna do the other 2 on your own, and we should do just fine with this today. I think it's spot on. I think it's good timing. I don't think it's too overwhelming, and I think there should be kind of some natural interest due to the extreme content we're going to cover related to the crisis in Venezuela. So let's go to page 30, please. Everybody should have it, and it should look like this. All right, so here's how this is going to work. Okay, these are the expectations. We're going to complete the first one together, and then you're going to do the second and the third one on your own. So the idea is I've given you some sources where you can get this information. You need to at least view one of them. Obviously, with this first box, this first area here, there's only one. So you need to use that text to answer that interview question. The second one with the hospital is the same thing. You've got to use the text one. But then that third one about food and how you're getting food, you can choose which one you want to do. You can watch the video or read the article. You get to pick. Now, we're going to do this first one together. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to get in the frame of mind that you're a Venezuelan citizen, that you're living there, that you're dealing with the crisis there in Venezuela. And I want you to think and just kind of write from your heart or with passion about the situation that's there, again, there's a minimum you have to write 3 sentences per response. But you could honestly write more. It's very easy to write more. And go ahead and just write freely and don't, focus on it being perfect. But read the source, understand it, and then respond from a first person point of view using words like I and we. Okay? So keep that in mind. So our interview question for this first one is, what is your opinion of the current situation of the leadership in Venezuela? So it's like you're being asked an interview from NPR or BBC, a news channel, a journalist that's writing an article, or maybe interviewing you live on TV, a Venezuelan, news station, something like that. Okay. And so that's what you need to put yourself in that place. Now, so let's take a look. Everybody click on Venezuelan crisis in 300 words. Open that link, please. And what I want you to do now is take 2 minutes and read this article. Go ahead and do that now. 2 minutes. And again, write any questions in the chat, please. And if you finish, you can go ahead and start answering that question. What I want you to do, all right? So you've read that article, or at least kind of looked through that article. And you can use prior knowledge as well. I want you to go ahead and now write freely. Like, imagine that you stopped on the street. You're asked this question by a journalist or a news station, okay? And you have the ability just to speak freely, speak your mind freely without consequence, okay? Or maybe you can, even speak, from a different point of view. Maybe you're a citizen and you are a fan of Maduro. It depends on your point of view and your perspective. But I would go ahead and kind of pick a side and write about it. Okay, and I'm going to do the same here. And you can kind of take a lead from me. And you can use the sentence starters or just erase them and write, what you would like to say on your own. Okay, so I'm gonna just read my response. Yeah, again, you are a Venezuelan citizen writing in first person. So if you look, I'm imagining that I'm living in Venezuela, in Caracas, Venezuela, okay, the capital. And all this is happening from that article and from prior knowledge from what I know about the situation. So I'm gonna say, hey, and I'm imagining that I'm being interviewed or kind of responding to a reporter or a journalist. Okay, yeah, definitely. Say what's on your mind. Be raw. So the current situation is terrible. I cannot stand the current government. They've stolen control through a rigged election. We demand a free and fair election immediately. So that just kind of be my initial response to that interview question. And you can write something very similar to what I have because we're doing that one together. I just want to make sure you understand the expectations. Again, put any questions in the chat and I'll address those. I just want to make sure we understand the expectations of the lesson today. Also, can you let me know when you're done with that first one, please, in the chat? Just real quick, just say I'm done, just so I have an idea of the amount of time that this is taking. Okay. Give you about 30 more seconds and then we're going to move on. Whatever you don't finish, you need to do during asynchronous time today. This is all that we're doing besides the ticket out the door. Nope, just one today. Just one today. All right. So, okay. So the next expectation now. I want you to, now you need to complete before 10 p.m. this question about the hospitals. Why are you here and what is it like? So as you read that article, I want you to then put yourself in the shoes of these Venezuelan citizens that are in the hospital, and I want you to explain why you're there, okay, and what it's like. You could take the perspective of a nurse, a doctor. You could take the perspective of a citizen that's having to bring their child there, or yourself, and kind of explain that, so keep that in mind. And here's where your source that you're going to use to answer those questions. Okay, so here you go. Okay, talking about the hospital. Okay, and the situation there. So you'll read through that and do that. And then you do the last one. Okay, you do the last one as well, because we did the first one together as the example. So now you do the second and third one, please. And you can choose. You can choose this article about food shortages. Okay. All right, you can choose that article about food shortages. You can watch that video as well if you'd like. Both of them give a unique perspective. And they're different perspectives and actually have different answers based on which one you pursue. Okay. And then here's the next source is a video talking about
on the slopes of Caracas's slums, something is
okay. Now, so now take a look. So again, these are the questions you're being asked are the interview questions. And you are answering the interview questions in the box to the right. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay, so again, you're being asked this question, why are you here in the hospital and what is it like? And here's a sentence starter. I'm in the hospital because, and write why you're in there. Because I'm a doctor and I'm working or whatever. Okay, all right. So, any other questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. Yep, both of those questions during asynchronous time. We're going to complete page 31 tomorrow. That's tomorrow's focus. Good question. 30 today, 31 tomorrow. If you want to do 31 and get a jump start on it, you can. Okay, but 30's today, 31 tomorrow. Okay. Put yourself almost like during the time that source is from. Okay, the time that source is from. So maybe it's not like literally right now. It could be right now, or you could talk about it from, the time period that is represented in the articles or the videos, which could be like in the last 2 years, probably, last 2 to 3 years. Okay. All right. So I think you understand how to do that. Let's go now. Everybody needs to do this right now. Go to October 8th, ticket out the door. Okay, everybody go here. 2 questions. Answer them, please. No retakes. Each question is worth 2 points. Okay, what is question 1? Question 1. What is today's objective? And then question 2, I like this one. Which of the following best relates to the statement of inquiry? Systems determine power and equity. Okay, that's our statement of inquiry from Unit 1, Latin America. There are 2 really good kind of descriptions there, but which one best relates to the statement of inquiry? Any questions about the ticket out the door? All right. Once you complete the ticket out the door, make sure you finish page 30. Also, a quick heads up, we're not having a Venezuela assessment. I'm actually combining it into the quarterly, which is next Wednesday. Okay, because I want to make sure didn't overload everybody, and I don't feel like we would have been prepared for a solid assessment tomorrow. So I'm going to focus tomorrow a little bit more on the citizens' views of the situation in Venezuela. We'll review Monday and Tuesday for the quarterly, and then we'll take the quarterly Wednesday. Again, once you do the ticket out the door, you can go.